Hello everyone, this is Midlife Music Teacher and I'm Mrs. G. And in this video, I'm going to share the 7 things that are essential to me in my music classroom. So let's take it from the top. Number 1 is my Promethean board, and I started using this P board about 4 years ago, and I use the P board to display my curriculum. My school purchases a subscription to Essential Elements music class, so I display the curriculum. I use the P board to play the songs, share the videos. I also display my own slide decks for those times when I go off of the curriculum and do some of my own lessons. I use the annotate feature on this P board all the time. I use the whiteboard feature, and there are so many things I'm still learning about the P board. Can I teach without it? Sure. Would I want to? No. The P board has become essential to me. The P board was purchased through our district's technology budget, and just about every single teacher in my school has one in their classroom. Number 2 is my rug that I have in my classroom, and this rug was also purchased by the district. It was purchased for that music room before I ever became the music teacher in that room. And while I do have my preschool students sit on the rug, and for some activities I'll have my older students sit on the rug, 1 square per person, 1 person per square. Mostly the rug just kind of sits in the middle of our seating arrangement. And I use the rug for things like visuals, for when we talk about melodic direction, and we're talking about how notes can move by steps, skips, leaps, and repeats. So I'll have the kids demonstrate. I also use the rug for when we play instruments. For example, especially if I'm going to assess the students on their playing, I'll put the instruments on the red squares. I'll tell the students to sit in the orange squares, and then they are seated up in the front while the students sitting in the chairs will have something else to be doing. And that way they're right up front, they know where to go, and I can assess them quickly. The last thing I really like the rug for is for when we form circles. If we're doing a circle game or a circle dance, the direction I give is put your toes on the edge of the carpet. So is it a true circle? No, but if they put their toes on the edge of the carpet, they can see to spread out. They can make sure they're not too far apart. They can make sure they're not too squished together. And then we take the game or dance from there. So that's how I use my rug. It's become essential to me in my instruction. Number 3 is my fancy music stand. Now, most of these music stands that I have in my room, the metal music stands, they came over with me from the elementary school that closed in 2019. Those music stands were purchased by a parents group that had a fundraiser because we did have a beginner band at that other elementary school. And so I took some of the nicer ones. They were old and some of them were pretty beat up. But I took 5 of the nicer metal music stands to this school when I was transferred there. And I like the fancy conductor stand, it's basically 2 stands all kind of soldered together into one. I use that thing. I put my lesson plans on it, my seating charts and my lesson plans all go on there. It has that extra space to put any other materials I might need, handouts, worksheets, sheet music. And of course, a stand is a stand. It can be easily moved around the room as necessary. So the music stand is essential to me. Number 4 is my microphone. I use this personal microphone to help with my voice. Many years ago, I had some vocal cord issues which required surgery. That can be a topic for another video. But I began amplifying my voice in my lessons, and for a while I would just use a handheld microphone. But when I came over to this school, I wanted something that could move with me, that I could take with me down the hallway, at bus duty, not just for my class. So I purchased this through Amazon. It was $36, and it was the best $36 I've ever spent. I like this one better than some of the wireless ones because I like how I can turn on and off the speaker or turn the volume up or down on the speaker as I choose because the speaker is hanging on me. So I use this thing every day. It's become essential. It has helped save my voice. And if you are a teacher, or especially a music teacher, or any kind of person who has to use your voice a lot like that, I can't recommend a personal microphone system for yourself. I can't recommend that highly enough. I bought it with my own money, and if this one breaks, I'll definitely be purchasing a new one. Number 5 is my little pointer. I purchased this little pointer at the dollar store about 5 years ago. And I use this little pointer for all kinds of things. I use it to point to me and the students when we do echoes or call and responses. I use it to point to things on the keyboard. I put a little spongy piece of foam on the edge of the pointy finger on it. That way I can use it on my keyboard and it won't scratch or damage the surface of the keyboard. It's nice and soft and squishy. And this was the best dollar I ever spent. I use this thing every single day, and it has become essential to me. Number 6 is duct tape. And the way I started using duct tape in my classroom, social distancing, when we had to do that, and I was in my classroom and the chairs had to be 3 feet apart, and anyway, all that went down. I had put duct tape on the legs of the chairs to differentiate the different rows. Then when we didn't have to social distance anymore, I put the chairs in my little semicircle, and I began to use the different color of tape on the chairs as ways to break kids into small groups quickly. If you have red tape on your chair, go pick an instrument. If you have yellow tape on your chair, stand up and play the first phrase of this song. If you have orange tape on your chair, you form a group in that corner of the room. So the color tape on the chair has really become essential to my instruction as a way to quickly get kids into small groups, quickly assess them in small groups, have them quickly form groups and things like that. So duct tape, which I've purchased myself for my classroom. And finally, this seems silly, but one of the things that's essential in my classroom is my dustpan and brush, and those are another dollar store purchase. I purchased this dustpan and brush, and I use it quite a bit. I use it when the recess field comes out of kids' shoes on my floor. Sometimes if the kids do it on purpose, I hand them the dustpan and brush to clean up the mess themselves. The dustpan and brush also helps me to not have to pick up the gross things that sometimes kids leave on my floor, like discarded Band-Aids and tissues. I use this thing to pick up stuff that I do not want to pick up with my hands. And so I keep it in my corner, and this dustpan and brush has become essential to me in my classroom. So that's it. Those are the 7 things that are essential to me in my classroom. There are more items that I use on a regular basis, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video to this one in the future. So with that, we'll end on a high note. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like this video and to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.